Hello once again, witchy people. I thought I would do a quick update before I started making my first video of the year. My first proper video of the year. And the reason I thought I'd do a quick update is to basically explain why I'm filming here, why the light is so atrocious. So, as you may know, especially if you're living in the UK, we are in the third lockdown. And it's been quite an upheaval for many families, including my own. I've lost my craft room to my youngest daughter, who works from home. She works for the university. So she is encamped up in my craft room and prefers it up there to the dining room. And the idea was that I would then use the dining room because I can get good light in the dining room during the day. Unfortunately, my eldest daughter needed somewhere to stay for the lockdown, which had reliable internet access. It's okay. And where she could shut herself off in a room and not be disturbed and, you know, concentrate on her work, because she, after spending one day in her new job, got sent home and has to work from home. She works with disadvantaged or autistic children who suffer with autism and Asperger's and such like, in a college. So she has to do a lot of FaceTiming, and so she is now encamped until at least March in my dining room, which is just behind this shelf. There used to be doors here, and now it's just a bookshelf because I needed a bookshelf. Hello, Barkley. So I can't use that either, so I'm having to, and it's the weekend, which are always a busy time for me because regardless of the lockdown, I still have to help maintain the routine and the care that my mother-in-law needs. She has Alzheimer's and dementia. So I was just trying to think of the word, but I can't remember the word. So she has dementia, and so Saturdays is kind of like a busy day. And Sunday, which is now, I get up at silly time in the morning. I have no idea what the time is. It is, it's not too bad. It's only 1:30 in the morning. My clock is up there. 1:30 in the morning, whilst everyone else is asleep, so I can make a video. And the only place I can do it is to be sat here on the floor. Hence everything. So, how has your Gregorian New Year been treating you? I hope it's been doing well so far. I don't do New Year's resolutions as such because I don't have a habit of keeping them. And as I did, because I did kind of make myself a few promises and haven't kept any of them thus far. And now my cat wants to come in. I have to let the cat in now. Oh, the joys of doing all of this at night. Oh my. So, as this is also updates, let's go on to the dreaded D, the diet. I've been so-so. I've put on a few pounds, but it has been the Yuletide and Christmas season, so, you know, what the heck. It just happens. It's only been a couple of pounds, and I am about 12 or 13 pounds off my penultimate goal weight, or my penultimate. So that's going quite well. It's kind of made easier with having my eldest daughter here. She's the one who encourages me to, she's the one who first encouraged me to go out walking in the first place. She's also vegan, so it helps to have that kind of food in the house. So we tend to have now in the house, rather than vegetarian food, we tend to have vegan foods, or absolutely non-vegetarian, non-vegan foods. And obviously I can't pick at things that aren't vegetarian, and shouldn't really pick at anything that isn't vegan either, because I have so many food intolerances, not allergies, they are intolerances. So like, the TV keeps on distracting me. I've got to stop looking at the TV. So, you know, things are plodding along. To be honest, I am completely thrown by this current lockdown. And I know that although we kicked 2020 into the past now, things will never be as we once remembered them ever again. Even when we're all vaccinated, things will never be the same again, which I think is going to be incredibly sad. We have to find a new normal. I just hope that new normal does include that people still are tactile enough to want to hug each other, and you know, we can go to restaurants and pubs and all these things. At Christmas Eve, I actually went to my old pub that I used to go to 2 or 3 times a week with my husband. My daughter took me there for a meal, which was lovely. It was Christmas Eve. It was very, very quiet. It was very subdued. And Christmas has not seemed like Christmas at all. It feels like it hasn't quite arrived yet, and we're all still waiting for something. So we've decided as a family that we're probably going to have Christmas in July this year. Hopefully by then we'll all be vaccinated. I know my mum, who is under 75, if you're not in the UK you won't understand this. I don't know if you'll understand this whole tier system we've got about who can be vaccinated first. But my mum gets her vaccination because she's under 75, but she has got underlying health conditions. So she gets vaccinated sometime in February. I think it's February the 10th. Out of the 10 or 11 different tiers of vaccinations, I am in tier 6 because I am over 50 and I do have underlying health problems. It's been quite annoying because the rules and regulations are ridiculously stupid. To be honest, they are ridiculously stupid. It needs to be everything or nothing. Personally, I feel it's like you can go to, I mean, okay, for an example, I feel that clothes and shoes are an essential item. I do take gentle exercise every day, and for that I need to have shoes and boots, and I need them to be in good condition, and I like to have my shoes re-heeled, because it is, if it's a good comfortable pair of shoes, I feel it's worth spending out the money to have them re-heeled rather than buy another cheap pair of shoes. So I would like to be able to get my shoes re-heeled and my boots re-heeled, and I can't do that because the shoe repair shop is closed because it's not essential. I need underwear. You know, I'm losing weight. I do need new underwear, and that is something that you really do need to be measured for. Unless you can measure yourself, but even then I think it's nice to take a tape measure and measure, especially bras. Any woman will know bras are horrendously missized. They'll tell you one thing in one shop and the same size in another shop will be completely different. It's worse. It is the worst form of sizing in any type of clothing, except for jeans. Anyway, so I would like to be able to go and buy underwear. And I can't because it's not essential. But I can go for a takeaway, a KFC. That apparently is essential. That's more important than clothing and shoes and footwear. You see, so I think as a whole, if perhaps we were trusted to help each other follow the rules and regulations and always keep a mask on and stay 6 feet apart and don't crowd each other in, don't visit each other's houses, if we could all be trusted to do that and to help each other keep to those rules, then shops and businesses should be allowed to stay open. That's just an opinion. Just a thought. It is self-policing, I know, and it's not very popular. But anyway, I would dearly love to hug my mum. And I can't. I mean, she is in self-isolation. She has COPD, which is a chronic something pulmonary disease, really bad chest, as well as asthma and diabetes, and she has a heart condition, and so I can't hug her. I can go round and drop off things at the door. I can't hug her, and that's just terribly, terribly sad. Because if I was younger and I was still a child, I'd be able to, and I didn't live with my mum, I could visit my mum and hug my mum. So it's very, very hard. And, children are allowed to not wear a mask. Children under 16 will not be vaccinated, and yet they can freely move around to a greater extent, I think, than adults. Anyway, I'm droning on, and this is supposed to be a quick update. So there we go. A few thoughts on how I think the lockdown has been affecting me more mentally than anything else, because it has, this time round, it has made me feel very, very low, very, very isolated. And it's been very difficult to find not just the time, but the will, really, to sit and start making videos again. So I know I haven't even watched any videos, so I know I'm missing out on such a lot, and that's my own fault, I know. But like I said, it's getting back into the swing of things, really. It feels like I said, the Yule tide, and not so much Yule, because Yule still because Yule is, I think for us, a very much understated part of the year. It's something that we kind of do, or I do, very much under the radar almost, because I am very, very much a solitary witch by definition. Most hedge witches are solitary anyway. But I think because there aren't any really witchy people very close to where I live, well, that I know of, that sort of like share their beliefs and such like with me. And the friends that I do have that are very close in paganism and heathenism to me are just not, although they live quite close, they're not close enough for me to visit during this lockdown. So it's been kind of strange, and it's trying to explain it all as well. So it is very understated. I do my own little thing in my own little way, and I think most witches do. I don't think many of us have huge celebrations on the Sabbats or the Sabbats even. For the main part, sometimes because we haven't got the time to, or we don't have the inclination to, or we don't feel that it's the right time exactly for us. And so we tend to be quite understated about these things. And if we can in some ways amalgamate that with our upbringing, as I do with Christmas, where, like I said before, the Christmas tree will actually represent, most often will represent the Yule log for me. It's a tree that I bring into the house, even though it's a fake tree. I don't use a real tree. And I've been married 26 years. I've been married 27 years nearly. Yes, it is nearly 27 years. Oh my good gracious. In all that time, I think I'm on my second tree that I've ever owned. So I'm pretty good at the whole green thing. I don't like the idea of chopping down trees to bring into the house. I mean, as you saw with my Yule log, which I didn't get to light, it rained terribly for a few days, so I couldn't. But it is nicely dried out, and it is part of the home. Anyway, so yeah, I don't like the idea of cutting down trees. I'd much rather find a log that's already felled and unneeded. But I do amalgamate sort of like the Christmas sort of that I had as a child and Yule, because I think I tend to, even with Christmas, like I say, it's not Christmas for me. It happens to be, what was it someone said the other day on television? Oh, they celebrate Witchmas. I like that. I'm going to celebrate Witchmas. Happy Witchmas. So, because I feel that many of the Christmas traditions that we have are based very much on paganism, and that includes things like having a tree. It's a Scandinavian, it's a Norwegian thing, and I feel that that's very pagan. Mistletoe is pagan. You know, the only thing that makes it Christian really for me is the fact it's called Christmas. But for most of the traditions that certainly me as a family, when I was younger, were definitely pagan based. So even if when I say I celebrate Christmas, I don't celebrate Christmas, I do celebrate as a pagan festival. And I do celebrate on the 21st over to the 22nd and the 24th over to the 25th. I tend to include it all together in one big bunch. And I think that goes for a lot of celebrations we have over the years. Easter, Ostara, it's very much, as far as I can figure out, a lot of how we celebrate is based on old Germanic folklore. And it's very pagan. It's a very pagan festival, and once again has been, I'm not going to say it's been hijacked by Christians, because I don't think that's quite right. I think that it just happens to coincide and with pagan and Christian festivals tend to coincide quite a lot. And the easiest way for people to be Christianized way back when was to let them and allow them to have their own festivals melded into a Christian festival. And that is how I think a lot of celebrations, and although the core beliefs when you celebrate it as a Christian, for instance Easter, you think of it as rebirth because of Jesus being resurrected. As a pagan you think of rebirth and not even rebirth. As a pagan it's more Mother Nature showing herself. It's the green coming through. It's that beautiful blossoming of everything. So, you know, it's the core beliefs are not the same, but the way we celebrate tends to be quite similar because of that enmeshing of traditions over the years to make it more acceptable for people to turn to Christianity and away from their heathen roots. Just an opinion, once again. I don't mean to offend anyone. Like I said, I've got definitely nothing against Christianity or Catholicism or Judaism or anything else I can think of right now. Because I believe there is any religion or spiritual belief is right if it's the right thing for the person who found it and who believes it. So for my mum, much as she was definitely heathen and pagan when I was growing up, becoming Christian is right for her. That's her beliefs, and definitely something that, because it fits right with her, it's right for her. However, that's not right for me. And for me, definitely being a hedge witch, being a heathen, being a pagan, all these umbrella terms, and is the core of who I am. And it's not so much a belief as who I am. In the same way in that my mum, her core is being a Christian. It's part of who she is now. So I think that and for my father, who was Jewish, he was Jewish. It wasn't just he followed the Jewish belief system. He believed in Judaism. He was a Jew. He was Jewish. And I think it does. I think you know that you're on the right path and you have the right choices when that becomes part of who you are. Not just something you believe in or something you practice. It becomes part of you. And that's when you really know that you're on the right path for you. Like I said, for me, it was witchcraft and paganism, definitely heathenism. And this has gone on from a quick update to a really long ramble on thoughts, and I think that's half the problem is with this lockdown. We've all got way too much time to think. Anyway, happy new Gregorian year. And I hope you are all well. And I hope you don't mind me rambling on, and I will be back very, very soon with my first proper video of the year, which is more than just, well, it's always just opinions, let's face it, it always is just opinions, but it's more than just, this is what I think. So anyway, thank you for watching, witchy people, and I hope you're all having fun, and let's get back to making videos and try and get back to some sort of normality as much as we can. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.